Welcome to the Sports Showcase event on Harford TV. I am Ray Hughes, and I am here with my broadcast partner, Chris Dale. We are at beautiful Harford Technical High School Stadium for a boys lacrosse match between the host Harford Tech Cobras and the visiting North Harford Hawks. North Harford is coached by Rich Tabling, and this is his 10th year, and the team is currently 5-4. Harford Tech is coached by Kyle Funk, and this is basically his second year as he took over partway through last season. And their record is currently 3-4. We had a bit of a lopsided game last year, but according to both coaches, they thought they expect a good game here. So what are you thinking about this game, Chris?
So a beautiful night here at Harford Tech. The facility is wonderful, if I may say. Looking forward to the contest. I talking to the North Harford coach before the game. They've got a young team, and he definitely sees them developing. They have dropped a few in-county contests already that, quite frankly, they've probably won over the last few years.
Yeah.
So I know they're eager to get on a roll and get hot as we kind of head into playoff season. About 2.5 weeks left in the regular season in Harford County, and then everybody will move on to the state playoffs.
I think we heard that they lost a good graduating class last year.
Yeah, North Harford has been strong for the last couple of years. They lost 5 all-county players. Tony Delarose currently playing in college, so they lost their defensive side of the field. So you'll see some young players, 2 freshmen starting for North Harford on defense tonight.
So we're going to pause, folks, for the national anthem.
To respect our flag for those that have served before and those that are currently serving to keep us free.
I have down here that Harford Tech Coach Kyle Funk does not have any assistant coaches. The Harford Tech's athletic directors are Kyle Moore and Paul Daniel, and the principal is Jim Reynolds. So I don't know if they're going to be doing intros or not. They're making a nice announcement for us here, Chris, letting the parents and fans know when they can watch the game. That's great. Our refs for today are Lucas Highlands and Mike Levin. As I've always said, tough job to do. But to your point, beautiful complex. I mean, what a great field to be on. Chris, you're younger than I am, so you could probably handle it better, but a little bit more steps than I like to do up and down to the pet.
Yeah, we're a little high above the field tonight, so got my workout in getting up here for the game.
Exactly. So I have down here that both teams lost in the second or third round last year in the playoffs. And, North Harford said they had a tough loss to Ken Island, who you said's a powerhouse.
Yeah,
so.
Ken Island won the state championship last year, and I know they handled North Harford in the playoffs. And talking to Coach Rich before the game, he knows that they're looming out there again, probably in the playoffs.
So, so here we are for the face-off. Won by North Harford right away, but lost the ball. The ever-important loose ball, Chris. Ground ball.
Yeah, face-off win for North Harford and Cruz Cespedes. again, North Harford led by a lot of young players.
Yeah.
North Harford has a lot of young players, but they have Owen Smith as a senior. Recently broke North Harford's school scoring record.
Wow.
I've been coaching against him. You know, he's been on these fields for 4 years, and he's been scoring goals since he stepped on the field as a freshman.
So that shows you how many sports are a game of inches. That ball looked like it hit off the lower left post and kicked out to the side there, and then the defense was able to pick it up and clear it, move downfield. I mean, it looked like a fairly harmless shot, but it still hit the post.
Yeah, the post is often the goalie's best friend, especially early in the game when you want to get on a roll.
So I always like to see, Chris, the different styles. You and I were able to call a game early in the season between Bel Air and Cement Wright, and one team had more patience on offense. The other team was a little bit more aggressive. That was a quick shot. I'm trying to tell if it's 15 or 16. I'm right on either one of them. Yep, number 16 there for North Harford. That looks like sophomore Caleb Kerr.
Yeah, it looks like Caleb's first year on varsity. I know that North Harford also without one of their starting attackmen
So what do
tonight.
you like about this play here, Chris? Didn't show the shooter, but I think he took a left-handed shot from out there.
Well, I like the fact that we're on the scoreboard early.
Yeah.
They got the ball out in transition and got to the goal pretty quick. So I know the last broadcast we had, it took about 8 or 9 minutes to get a goal, so we're off to a big start here tonight.
But what I noticed about that shot as well as the one that hit the post before that, here we go again, try to go behind the back, is both of them seemed like they had 3 or 4 players between them and the goal, but does not make that easy for the goalie. Sometimes they don't always have the best view of the ball coming through there.
Right, and good shooters will use that to their advantage. Definitely use the player and the defensive player as a screen, and often shoot the ball right off the defensive shoulder or hip, and a lot of times the goalie never sees it.
It's a nice dodge by number 23. Just barely missed that shot. That was
That's
senior
Owen Smith.
Yeah.
And again, the leading scorer at North Harford. I know Owen is going to go right across the road here and play lacrosse at Harford Community College next year. Harford Community College currently ranked number 1 in the country after a big win this weekend against the number 1 ranked team. Be a great opportunity for Owen to go and play right away and try and move up in the college ranks.
That was a nice save by our goalkeeper for Harford Tech. I want to say that was that Rory Jenkins, or was it, he's one of their goalies. Let's see, can't tell, I'll have to look at his number next time. Rory's also a really good swimmer for Harford Tech. One of the fastest in the county.
It is 13 in the goal is Rory Jenkins.
Now, one thing I've noticed here so far, Chris, is North Harford is not gun shy on shooting quickly.
No, right. They were right up and down. Harford Tech turned it over on the clear, and North Harford, back with a shot on the cage just in seconds.
Rory just came out aggressively, but he unfortunately slipped. Nice catch. A nice save by Rory. A little bit of Rory in the post there. It looks like he deflected it to the goal post, and it bounced back out. So do you find that that's a little bit troublesome sometimes, is the slipping on the turf, or do you not really mind it for traction?
Yeah, you see it a lot. I do think, especially the players today, I'm sure they would prefer to play on the turf. We've got a nice night here, so field conditions should be dry. When you get that kind of a little mist or dew on the field, it definitely gets slick.
So you got a crowd over here on the sideline. There's a flag, and it's obviously against Harford Tech because they're continuing possession. You think that was a slash type of a foul there?
Looked like a slash to the head, so it's a continuation play. So North Harford basically has a free play here. They'll get something set up and
fake pass, another slip that I was kind of talking about.
So play will continue until Harford Tech can gain possession of the ball.
Yeah. So you got Owen Smith with the ball behind the cage. See what he's trying to set up here. See if he wants a one-on-one or if he's trying to find a. That was a nice catch and pass and catch, but he was right on top of the goal.
And now we'll see the extra man unit for North Harford.
So you explained our last telecast about the different styles of defenses. On a man down, do you generally do like a zone that slides to the best position shooter?
Yeah, you definitely you want to know. Like they'll want to know where Owen is. Looks like he's going to start out behind the goal, but they're in a sense playing a 5-man zone, trying to protect the middle of the field. They don't want to give up anything close. You know, your hope is that you can lure them into a long outside shot. And then North Hartford, on the contrary, is going to doing a good job. You see them moving the ball.
Good deflection there on the defense. Just trying to eat clock here. Now, you were explaining before, Chris, that there could be a 30-second penalty and a 1-minute penalty. And is there any continuous penalties?
Yeah, so personal fouls are a minute served. Looks like that's what we're doing with here. A technical foul, like a push or something like that, is a 30-second foul.
Nice escape on the defense there, all the way down to a shot and a score.
Yeah, good transition lacrosse again. Harford Tech ties it up.
So that was number 23, and that is Tyler Paco. And, man, that was quick. Talk about one end to the other transition very fast.
Right, and good to see it passing the ball. So they moved the ball up and see on the replay, wide open. That drew the slide, got it to the open guy, and a good finish by number 23.
Yeah, not a whole lot you could do about that as a keeper. I mean, that was a very undefended shot there. I mean, you do not want to be in that situation. But there's a time to transition slowly and build a play, and there's a time to attack, and that was definitely one time to attack.
All right, so North Hartford again with the faceoff win. I believe they're 3-0 to start out the game. That can provide a significant advantage to the Hawks in the game tonight. They're all three faceoffs so far taken by number 9, Cruz Cespedes. My son actually played football with Cruz, so I'm familiar with him. Not only is he a really good lacrosse player, he's a 3-year player on the North Hartford varsity. He's also an all-county wrestler.
Wow.
Recently finished 6th in the state tournament. And I believe his sister is a manager on the team who also finished very high in the state wrestling tournament.
I think she won. And,
and you'll see that connection. The face-off wrestling connection is something that goes back in lacrosse.
Yes.
Wrestlers have that ability to get low and use their leverage, and it's a real good transfer of skill between the face-off position and wrestlers. So you'll see a lot of wrestlers taking up that.
That seemed like a pretty quick timeout in the game. Which coach didn't see what they were like in there? I mean, what do you think's going on there?
Yeah, well, I think probably just wanted to get things settled down now.
Okay.
I mean, although we have a 1-to-1 game, North Hartford's probably leading in shots, in the manner of about 10-2. So,
do you think Coach Tabling is not happy with that transition on that last goal?
Yeah, well, and my guess is so we've got 8, 9, 10 shots already in one goal. So I think he really wants to take advantage of this opportunity, and they did.
Yeah.
That's the way to make your coach look good. Come right out of a timeout and put the ball in the back of the net.
So let's see who got this goal here. I mean, they're very successful at getting their shots off quickly. They seem to be getting, like, I'm going to sound funny by using the football markers, but they seem to be getting inside the 20, 25 fairly easy. So it looked like we got caught asleep there. Came in all the way on his own. That was number
Harford
25.
Tech's slow to slide, really just a one-on-one move.
That was Wyatt Ralph there on the goal.
And another face-off win for North Hartford. They're really, really starting off hot at the face-off game, and that turns into possessions.
So Coach Tabling was telling us before the game, and I asked him about some of their previous game scores, and he said, and you've said this many times, he said they faced 2 really good teams who had outstanding face-off specialists. And he said, not saying that they would have won the game anyhow, but the score differential was very dictated by the low percentage of face-off wins.
Yeah, the face-off game is, you can dominate the sport if you have that person that can win face-offs, because as we've seen so far, North Hartford has been on offense for most of this game.
Yes. That was a nice shot by Preston Webb, but it bounced slightly high. But they had good backup behind the goal for North Hartford. So it looks like our last goal scorer, Wyatt Ralph, with it, and he came in again. Now, I'm not the lacrosse expert you are, Chris, but it looked to me like he could have gotten in a little bit further if he really wanted there. He was shoulder to shoulder, slightly inside of the last defender.
Yeah, he's done a nice job on the last two moves. Wyatt is a team captain. You can see him wearing the knee brace. He did miss all of last season with a knee injury. That's good to see him back on the field.
Yes, it is.
There's they're very prevalent in the sport of lacrosse, unfortunately, ACL and knee injuries. So you can generally see when you see the player with the large knee brace that they've been through that. So
definitely, since he's a senior, you want to see him get his senior year back in. That's very hard to miss any time. So it looks like they're playing on here. So here we are. This is the first time I've really seen North Harford. Oh, as soon as I say that, I speak too soon. Oh, he is scooping that back to his teammate. Tried to get a cutter down the middle, but there was some physicality there. There's a big hit by Harford Tech.
Good hustle by Harford Tech. I mean, they really need to fight for these ground balls because they haven't had the ball much. So they really need to take their time now and hold on to it and quite frankly, give their defense a rest. They've played an awful lot of defense so far, and that'll catch up to you.
They got a little chippy there for a second. And, people did not take kindly to being halfway down on the ground and getting hit. Trying to get back up, but I guess that's part of the game.
It is. The refs did a good job making the call and getting the ball back over to the Hawks. Lacrosse can be a very physical sport. It's allowed within the confines of the rules, but I would also say that in today's game, it's much less physical than it was years ago, and a lot of that is due to the prevalence of injuries in the sport.
Seems like we had a little hot potato going there for a while, but we might have had a hit from behind there.
Yeah, we got some spirited ground ball play.
Well, it looked like there was 8 people that touched that ball on the ground, and nobody could quite pick it up. That's one of the things that I think is amazing about lacrosse, Chris, is you go from high skill moments of extreme difficult catches and shots to just cradling the ball and dropping it. But that's kind of like, don't take your eye off the ball as a receiver, maintaining focus. Nice save by our keeper here, picked up in the back.
Yeah, the Harford Tech man-down defense was holding strong until that shot.
Well, that was number 13, Preston Webb, and that ball just kind of luckily bounced back out to him and his teammate and then over to him, and I think he sensed that the defense wasn't set, so he said, I'm shooting.
Yeah, and he did a nice shot. Looks like Preston's a second-year starter on the varsity, one of the leading scorers on the team. Came in with 16 goals already on the season and off to a good start tonight.
So let's see how this develops, Chris.
Again, like we talked earlier, right off the shoulder and midsection of his defender. The reality is, you watch the goalie, he never saw the ball.
Right.
He was in good position, so he got a piece of it, but nice job using the defender as a screen.
Did you see his margin for error there? If it's an inch to the left, it hits the defender on the side. If it's an inch to the right, it misses the goal or hits the post. It barely snuck in inside the goal there.
Another face-off win for Cruz Cespedes and North Harford, but good hustle by Harford Tech to turn it over and get the ball down on offense.
Let's see if they can settle down here a little bit, Chris. And
they really need to give their defense a break.
Yes. So you want a little bit of possession once in a while to give your defense a break. I'm imagining that the team is looking at how North Harford set up on defense. And I'm assuming that every team, most teams, has a stronger side where they prefer, or player they prefer to get the ball to take somebody one-on-one, create a dodge and a miss, and then a 2-on-1. Yeah,
and the reality is, I got to be honest, my favorite part of the game is playing one-on-one, but the teams that you'll see really succeed in the sport are teams that have multiple of those players on the field and are willing to share the ball. Lacrosse is a team sport, and we always use the phrase good lacrosse wins. So when you're sharing the ball amongst 6 players on the field, you can really put up some numbers.
To your point, I was watching, calling the game between John Carroll and Falston last week, and John Carroll won 16-9, but one player on Falston, forgetting her first name, but her last name is Lambers. If she got a ball inside the 30, she could beat 2 players, draw somebody, and get it to somebody, or take it to goal and score.
Right.
So that dodging ability is really good. I mean, important to the game. Have you had some players that were just great one-on-one that you were like, please take it to goal?
Yeah, at times there's a lot of times you do that in the game, but again, I think the players that I like to watch are those that can make that dodge, and when the slide comes, move it to the next open guy.
Another quick
just
transition.
like that. Oh, big save on the back end.
That was. So that was started with a goalie throwing the ball almost 2/3, 3/4 of the field, just going over the North Hartford defense. But to your point, our keeper for North Hartford, let me see what number that is. And I want to give him some kudos. Is that junior Blake Howell in the goal? I have him listed as starting.
Yes, number 11.
Yeah, he came up big there.
Right, that was a big opportunity.
Did they score there?
They did get that one, so now
that is number 2 on Harford Tech, and I have that down as Drew Wozar for his first goal and evening the game back up here at 3-2.
Yeah, nice goal for the senior. Again, North Hartford has dominated at the faceoff X and dominated possession, but 2 big plays by Harford Tech has them right in the game.
So he did kind of a spin move there.
Nice move, nice inside roll dodge, and a good finish.
So I was waiting for you to tell me the correct term there. That's good, Chris. You're teaching me. I mean, I was thinking spin move, but no, that was like an inward spin, so I like that. Roll dodge. Do you, obviously you're basing your moves off of your defensive position. So if the defender committed a little bit high too much, that's when you say, I'm going to do a roll dodge to the inside.
Yep.
Nice save keep again.
And while you roll, as long as you protect the stick, it's very hard for that defender to pivot and come back and get you.
So being that he was rolling to his right shoulder side, the offensive player, he's got to put the stick on his left side. Sometimes low is what he looked like he did to keep it from.
Yeah, and he did a nice job. You're right. He kept his body in between that defender and his stick and came up with an open shot.
So let's see if Harford Tech can settle down here.
Yeah, this has been one of their best possessions so far.
A good opportunity. Now he wanted to get that shot off, but I would say twice. Now we got some high takes going. Got a fight starting here. Teammates wisely pulling a
lot of flags on the field.
Teammate back there. It's the second time it looks like somebody's taking it personally here. Now, I'm assuming it takes a certain level to be ejected from the game for throwing a punch or doing something, but
throwing a punch by rule is an automatic ejection, so we'll see how this gets handled. I think trying to break it up.
So
good job by the rest. I mean, we did have a little one punch exchange, but a good job on both teams to grab the players involved and separate them. And now you'll see that, again, the ref's doing a good job kind of talking it through and making sure that they get this under control.
Yep. Yeah, our refs, Lucas Highlands and Mike Levin, are talking this over, making a decision. One coach is going to be unhappy here. The Harford Tech coach is going to be mad if the player is not ejected, and the other player coach is going to be mad if he is ejected.
I believe we did have a flag on the field before before the punch and the little skirmish. So we'll be interested to see how we wind up with numbers on the field here. We're definitely going to have multiple penalties. So it looks like we're going. The initial penalty is going to be a full-time cross-check, which means he won't be released. So there's a full minute going to be served by the North Hartford defender.
So let's see what the call here is.
Right now, it looks to me like that's the only thing that they called. So I don't know if they didn't see the.
They're maybe choosing to have not seen that.
And I really couldn't see if it was, if the punch landed. It is, that is by rule, to be an ejection. But I guess it really is up to the ref's discretion. And
So they have a good opportunity here. Man up.
Nice little play by Harford Tech. Got the defense rotating and got an open shot.
Nice low shot. I mean, the goalie, I don't think would have been able to save it if it was on goal. It just missed. But I've seen a lot of low shots today, Chris, so far.
Yeah, the highest percentage shot in lacrosse is going to be a low bounce shot. Players like for the highlight reel shot in the the upper corner, but by percentages, the bounce shot is the best shot in the game.
So you got lacrosse coaches saying the same thing as soccer coaches. It's easier for the goalies to reach up than it is down. So go for the low shot.
Right, very much when the goalie's standing up, his stick is up. So it's dead giveaway.
So it looks like we have the end of the first quarter here, Chris, with visiting North Hartford leading 3-2 currently. Right now for North Hartford, I have their goals being scored by Jackson Webb, Caleb Kerr, and Wyatt Ralph. For Harford Tech, I have goals scored by Tyler Paco and Drew Wozar. So two different styles, both a lot of transition quickness on Harford Tech, but a lot of set offense for North Hartford.
Right, and to give Harford Tech credit for hanging in there. So we're 3-2 at the end of the quarter. The reality is North Hartford dominated the faceoffs, appeared to dominate in the ground balls. They definitely dominated in time of possession and shots. So Harford Tech probably pretty happy that they're 3-2 at the end of the first quarter.
So like to say sometimes, a game of momentum swings back and forth. And to your point, I thought for a minute there it looked like North Hartford was going to be able to settle in and pull away with a decent lead, but Harford Tech has worked their way back in. Here we have a face-off for the second
And it looks
quarter.
like we do still have a man in the penalty box, so we'll have a man-down face-off.
I would imagine maybe close to half of that penalty is still on there, but it could be less.
I don't believe Harford Tech has won a face-off yet. This would be a big one, and they got it. So out of all the ones so far, that's the one to win. So
that was important.
They'll drop into, should still be on extra man offense.
Getting the ball out top here. See how much patience they have. I mean, part of this is based on how much time's on this man up.
And doing a good job early. They did a good job in the last extra man, moving the ball back and forth to get that, that zone defense moving, and looking for a seam or an open guy.
Got inside
nice
there.
move.
It's good defense. He looked like he had a good run to the goal there, and two defenders slid over and cut him off.
Unfortunately, stepped into the crease, so the ball will go over to North Hartford.
So your man down strategy, when you are a man down and you get the ball back, Chris, you
run.
It's like you're playing tag right now, huh?
Yep, a good job by number 6 on North Hartford. He's he's going to have to leg this out. He's going to have two guys on him real quick, and they're doing a nice job killing the penalty.
Now, after a man down situation, your team trying to get some subs in usually if they've been out there for a minute or two and playing defense, or is it not very tiring because you're setting the zone defense?
Yeah, no, well, I don't think these kids are all already tired. So they've been up and down the field quite a few times already. So there's an opportunity here for Harford Tech to get out and double team because they're still a man up even though North Hartford has the ball. So you see them attempting a double team, but North Hartford so far handling it pretty easily.
Yeah, it looks like senior Wyatt Ralph there was killing a little bit of clock. We talked the last game about subbing patterns, and some teams sub their first midfield and first attack more than others, and some people, if you don't have the depth, you're going to rely on your first line a little bit more.
Yeah, when you see a game like this, when they're really, again, we've got a couple transition goals already. We're up and down the field. You're going to have to go into your bench in order to keep everybody fresh. Okay, so we're back to all even strength now. I think Harford Tech kind of conceded for the last, 20 seconds of the penalty and just realized that they were going to drop in and be content to play 6-on-6.
Brennan Leonard that was up top with it. Now we got like a 3 or 4-on-1 there defending. You kind of feel like if you've got 3 people on you, does somebody have to be open? But when you're being harassed like that, you really don't have much time to look up and think.
Yeah, and it's one of those things from playing the game. When you all of a sudden you get that many people on you and everybody's yelling, but it's happening really quick to you on the field. So
our goalie Blake Howell there,
Nice clear by Harford Tech.
No, I got the wrong goalie there. The goalie was Rory. I said Rory Jenkins.
Timeout taken by Harford Tech. Again, probably to settle things down. They escaped that long penalty and are still right in this game at 3-2. Still a lot of time left in the first half.
We don't have as much information on Harford Tech, but I'm just looking at this roster, and I'm seeing Shane and Gabe Ekman and Rory Jenkins. They're three outstanding swimmers on the Harford Tech boys swim team. Won some individual and relay championships throughout the season. I was talking to some of my color commentators in recent games, like Patterson Mill baseball game. These smaller schools, these 1A, 2A schools, they really rely on 2-sport, 3-sport players.
Very much. And we talked about with Coach Rich before the game, North Harford as well. I mean, they've got multi-sport athletes throughout their lineup as well. A lot of football players, a lot of soccer players, and a couple wrestlers as well.
Nice shot at the fans here on this nice sunny day.
Yeah, beautiful night for lacrosse. It's a big night of lacrosse across Harford County, and there's a lot of games on the schedule.
So we're here with 8:30 to go in the second quarter, and it is 3-2 North Harford.
Harford Tech inches away from tying it up there, just couldn't make the open shot.
So talking about the weather, Chris, I can never make good decisions. So my wife tells me I never dress properly. So I went to a baseball game yesterday, and I said shorts and a polo shirt will work, and then it dropped 25 degrees, and I regretted it. Today I'm thinking I need long sleeves and khakis, and it's warmer than I thought it was going to be. It's beautiful for the players, and I don't really see it being wind affected.
No, we have a beautiful night, and as a player, I know they look forward to that. In high school game, obviously you get a bigger crowd when the weather's nice, and a lot more fun.
So we had a backhanded pass, and then we had an attempted backhanded goal behind the head shot. Well, one thing that's nice about this facility, Chris, is the fans can feel the sun in the bleachers, but the trees shade it for the players enough that you don't have the sun in the goalie's eyes and things like that, which can be a big factor in a goalkeeping sport.
Very much. Again, impressed. Harford Tech did a nice job. They took multiple shots. We got the saves. They were able to make a save and get a nice outlet pass and get it up the field safely. So back on offense with an opportunity to tie the game.
Well, they have settled down greatly because nice save by the keeper. If you really think about it, in the first quarter, not only did North Harford get 3 goals, but they had many near shots. They had post twice and multiple saves by the goalie, and it seemed like their shooting lanes were much more open, but it seems like Harford Tech on defense is closing down the shooting lanes much better now.
Yeah, they've definitely settled in. I was worried the first couple of possessions. Again, there we are, inches away from a tie ball game.
Yeah, that was just high. That was a nice shot by number 10, Xavier Castilla. Now, Chris, for those of you who don't know, is a former attack star, and he scored a bazillion goals in his life. You can tell, one thing I can tell here is some of these players that get in on goal, they do everything right to get in on goal, but then they slightly rush themselves at the very last second.
Right, and once you get inside, you get excited, you want to finish that goal. But the reality is, you've got 4 players within stick distance of you in most cases with a long stick, so you really have to protect your stick right up until the last second.
I've just noticed at least 2 times now where I thought the player could have taken a half-second breath and then composed himself for the shot. But I am not a lacrosse star. Oh, wow, he dodged through 3 players, but he didn't have much of he shot that basically right at the goalie's face. So it looked like one Harford Tech player basically tried to shield off 2 North Harford players and hoped his team would pick up that ground ball.
And again, big ground ball win, and I think we'd have a timeout by North Harford.
Do you do that sometime when you're going in for ground ball and you have a teammate behind you?
Absolutely.
That your job is to kind of clear out and their job is to pick up the ball.
Yeah, and fundamentally, if you play the game right, we call that man ball. So one player is responsible for taking the man, and one person's responsible for picking up the ball.
So, Chris, we're at a 6-minute point of the second quarter here, and it's still 3-2 North Harford. I thought we were going to have a higher scoring game for a while there, but it's still very quality right now. And I think what's happening is, even though North Harford's winning more of the draws, to your point, Harford Tech has settled down on defense and offense. So now it's looking like we might have more of a defensive struggle happening lately.
Right, and definitely, like I said, I think there's been great effort from both sides so far. Both have, come into the game knowing that this is a game that they want to win. I've been impressed with Harford Tech's effort so far, just fighting for every ground ball, staying into it. Again, after seeing North Harford, take 10 of the first 11 shots in the ball game, you would have thought that we would be a little more lopsided at this point. But Harford Tech's given all they have.
It's great seeing these coaches that give so much to the sport. They're both involved with their own club programs and, kind of lifers. So nice dodge there. Another move. He got that ball all the way over to an open teammate. They kind of pulled the stick back too far when they went to release the shot. But number 23 there, Owen Smith, the way he got through those defenders was impressive.
Yeah, Owen's a remarkable athlete. He's the quarterback at North Harford. Again, he's been we'll call him a 4-year starter, minus a COVID year at North Harford. Only took him 3 years to break the all-time scoring record at the school.
That's amazing. Seems like if he had that other year, he might be setting an untouchable record for a long time.
Right.
Working the ball around patiently here. Now you see the defenders, get out of each other's way to stay with their man as they cross each other's paths.
And Harford Tech's not shy. They're really pressing out. I mean, you can see that. He's playing defense well beyond the box line there.
Oh, missed pass there. See if the...
big ground ball.
That's a tough ball to pick up with a long stick, and he does it.
Yeah, nice job by Harford Tech again. And a great outlet. Oh, just missed.
So do you like the aggressiveness of the goalie there trying to get a quick transition pass?
Yes, yeah. The goalie making a save and getting the ball out saves an awful lot of heartache on the clear.
I mean, sometimes you'll get a coach who says, let's work it upfield, don't be dangerous. But then again, they've shown the ability on the transition to get downfield quickly and get off quality shots. Kind of like the fast break Lakers playing against a slow Celtics team. There can be two different styles in the sport.
Right, and we've had a lot of up and down play. The score doesn't reflect it so far, but.
Well, the goalies have made a decent amount of saves too.
We go again, another nice outlet.
He needs a little help here, Chris. And they're able to, they're throwing a flag here. And it looks like they could have thrown another one right after that if they wanted to.
Good hustle by Harford Tech. Again, they're not giving up there.
I thought I saw a flag, but I must not have. Harford Tech got to work the ball out now. Good harassing defense. Wow, that was a long and strong outlet pass. Coach would have probably liked to have seen a safer pass there, but
they were able to maintain possession.
Yeah, good hustle in the backup. We say it every game we do, speed kills, and they like to get those fast guys in there at midfield that can run forever, and they have good skills. It's a combination that non-lacrosse people do not appreciate enough. I mean, like I've heard the analogies of how much a midfielder runs in a soccer game, and it must be very similar for a midfielder in lacrosse.
Yeah, and again, we talked about it earlier, but in most high school games, these teams are running 5 or 6 midfielders. So
right.
You really you have to be in great shape to play, especially as the weather gets warm here.
And it's a different kind of in shape. It's not a constant, steady 2-mile run,
Right.
or 3-mile run like a cross-country runner. It is sprint and go, sprint and stop, walk, sprint for 5 yards, sprint for 15 yards. Get it clear from defense, you've got to run 35 yards. Nice shot, just wide. Try to get a pickup and a feed right back down the middle again. So now we're going to be fighting for it on the other side of the field here. See who gained possession. North Harford did.
Owen Smith on the run for North Harford. But again, good hustle and good defense by Harford Tech.
That was number 24 on. That was Shane Ekman on the defense there, harassing, causing that turnover. So an important ball here, picked up again.
Right, just like we talked about, we were up and down the field here at a pretty feverish pace.
So he tried to make that pass, but he tried to make it through a Harford Tech player who kind of deflected it, but North Harford picks it back up again. Oh my, might have gone in the crease. That was a good attempt on that.
So you see we have a quick whistle in lacrosse now. So, in the old days, they would take that ball and they would move it out to the side, and it would take 10 seconds so the other side could set up. But now, as soon as you pick the ball up, look at the ref, they'll give you a quick whistle, and that helps us transition and get the ball down the other side of the field quicker.
Yep. Here we go on the replay here. In the crease.
Again, nice effort by Owen.
Now I'm looking at my numbers here, and I saw a number 16 on Harford Tech, but I did not have it on my roster.
Did that catch the pipe?
Yes, it did.
Again, we've multiple times, Harford Tech has been within inches of tying this game up.
So they're like overpassing here a little bit of both teams. They're trying to get the ball from defense to midfield line quickly, and it's worked some, but Chris, I think that some patience need to be had.
You got a flag down on the play.
It looked like a stick right to the face, neck area.
Obviously, that'll help North Harford settle down. I think it would, be in the best interest of both these teams to kind of slow the game down a little bit. It's gotten a little sloppy, down to the last 30 seconds of the quarter.
So we have 30 seconds left. This could be a really big play here. So he kind of stops. I don't think he meant to do that at all. I mean, you know that he's not trying to do a jab to the neck there. So with them being a man up with 30 seconds, what a crucial part of the game here. 1 goal gain. You want to go in two goals up if you can here. Obviously, Harford Tech's like, let's kill the first 29.9 seconds of this penalty.
Yes, so coming into halftime here, as long as North Harford has possession, when we get to 0-0, there will not be a face-off to start the second half. So it's in their best interest just to hold the ball here. They got about another 10 seconds to kill. Harford Tech doing the right thing, coming out, putting a little bit of pressure on.
I would think they'd start to attack the goal by now.
Well, they're going to hold it so that they don't have to face off when we start the second half.
Okay, thank you for explaining that. Now they're going to have, do you think this is a minute penalty or is this longer?
Yeah, no, I think it's just a 1-minute penalty.
So
I didn't see what the actual call was, but right away when you saw that they were going to hold the ball for the second half, you knew it was at least a minute.
So even if they would have taken a shot and it missed, but they got the backup, it wouldn't have mattered.
Right. Well,
it's still been a face-off in the second half.
Yeah. No. As long as when we get to 0-0, that the ball is in possession of North Harford, then we will not have a face-off.
So, Chris, here we are at halftime at nice, beautiful Harford Tech Stadium, and we have a 3-2 lead for North Harford. What are your quick thoughts about the first half?
Well, my quick thoughts were, again, North Harford won majority of the face-offs.
Yes.
They dominated possession time in the first quarter, but Harford Tech has really kind of gritted it out and fought through it, and they're right in this game. And I got to be honest, for the first 6 or 7 minutes, I wasn't sure that they would be at this point in time. So impressed with the effort, and we've got a good game.
Yes, excellent game. So we've reached halftime, and we have North Harford Hawks leading the Harford Tech Cobras 3-2. And we'll recap the goal scorers again. Such a low-scoring game, Chris. We've already recapped it a couple times. So stay tuned for the second half action. Welcome back to the second half of our Sports Showcase event on Harford TV. I'm Ray Hughes here with my telecast partner, Chris Dale. And Chris, we have a very nice low-scoring game, 3-2 lead by North Harford. I would be honest with you, I would think that it would be a little bit earlier. I thought it would be a high-scoring game. And
It
then
started
just
out
settled
that way.
down.
Right, it definitely started out that way. I expected to see a lot more, but again, I'm impressed with the effort by Harford Tech so far tonight. I'm pretty sure this is a game North Harford expects to win and thought they would win. But they're in a battle here with 2 quarters to go.
So, you know what? I mean, in a close game like this, all the little things are going to come in, including team depth. We talked about players getting tired. We saw a new goalie warming up, and is it the new goalie in the game here for North Harford?
No, it looks like the same keeper.
So I guess you just sometimes want to get your second string goalie
Get some extra work in.
touches in case.
All right, so we'll start off the second half. North Harford back on the extra man and
Yes.
no face-off.
So it's still a very important moment here. I mean, North Harford has not scored since the first quarter, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, and we've had multiple penalties, so these man-up, man-down situations will be huge to determine the outcome of the game.
Right? It's a nice hard shot there, but just missed wide.
Yeah, another good shot again by Owen Smith. Has not found the back of the net yet tonight, but as soon as he finds the range, I think that's really what North Harford needs to get going.
So doing my math, I have the penalty just about to run out. If it was a minute penalty. Now, one team's going to be subbing, Harford Tech's going to be subbing their man-down player back in. So how quickly do you try to get a shot off as they're getting in there?
Yes, we're back to even strength,
Yeah.
and they'll transition over to their
Settle
6-on-6
down.
offense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure both teams talked about, trying to control the possession maybe a little more at halftime.
Wow, we finally got that shot there. That looked like number 13. That's Preston Webb with
Junior
his
Preston Webb.
second goal of the night.
Again, we talked about it earlier. A nice low shot. Goalie did not get down in time, and up to a 4-2 lead for North Harford.
It's about a third or fourth shot I've seen Preston take like that. He seems to like that shot, right-handed low. Hey, use the turf to your advantage.
Yeah, the Harford Tech keeper is tall, so it's harder for a tall keeper to get down.
Mm-hmm.
You can see he just missed it. He saw it going there and tried to get there.
You see where number 24 on defense was basically directly in between the goalie and the shooter, and it seemed like Preston waited for that exact moment.
Right, it makes it very hard on the goalkeeper.
Mm-hmm. Trying to catch it over his shoulder to pass. Now you've got North Harford regaining possession here in the 4-2 lead.
Big save.
Yeah, big save. He didn't quite get around the corner there enough, it looked like, but he was trying to sneak it over the goalie's right shoulder.
All right, these are an important few minutes for Harford Tech to stay in this game.
Mm-hmm. Like they're settling down here.
And you can see by design, again, I'm sure both coaches said, hey, we really need to settle down in the second half and make sure we have our legs left by the time the fourth quarter rolls around. Both teams have showed the ability to get shots off in the 6-on-6 offense.
So that was a good two-player dodge, but it forced him to lift his stick up fairly high and bounce that ball a little bit from a higher angle, which made it hop over the goal, Chris. Nice save by the keeper.
Yeah, both keepers doing a nice job tonight.
Outlet pass.
North Harford doing a nice job getting the ball quickly up the field.
Mm-hmm. So like they're
Although I definitely see a difference as we're in the second half. I think in the first half you might have seen them race towards the goal with that.
Yes.
And concerted effort to slow it down a little bit here.
Nice feed, and he got his own drop back, but then he threw it to the goalie. Goalie was actually able to anticipate low there and just need to snag it. Now you got your goalie out here midway through the goal in the midfield line.
He's doing a nice job in the clearing game. He really is.
His
He
passing
seems
is
very confident.
Very accurate. Nice inside move there. He's going to get a run at the goal, get 2 of them. He got 2 shots off there, but he got checked right at the
Yeah,
point
good
of
speed
shooting.
move. He got by the first guy. He really didn't have any outlets to move the ball once the first and second slide came.
It's amazing how quickly the ball can go from one end to the other, Chris.
Yeah, it really is the beauty of the game.
Well, he tried to go through the defender's legs there, but it looked like it deflected off the defender's leg.
All right, so North Harford will regain possession of the ball as they're closest to the ball when it goes out of bounds. In lacrosse, anytime a shot is taken, it's the team that's closest to the ball when it goes out of bounds retains possession.
Lacrosse reminds me so much of the game of basketball where, you know, do you have a half-court offense? Do you have a quick shot? Good job by your keeper again.
And he's piling up the saves.
But then you have the transition, you have the steals at midfield, like you have the steals at midcourt in basketball. It looked like the player there caught that right behind midfield, but he was a midfielder, so he was legal there. You see the action at the midfield line, Chris, where the offensive or defensive players that can't go to the other side are reaching over the line, trying not to go out of their area. I'm sure there's a little jockeying that goes on that where one player tries to push the other person over the line.
Very much. A lot of gamesmanship in that.
I'm going to get you in trouble. I'm going to push you over the line. So when you catch this, it's my ball. Good scoop there, but lots of pressure here.
Yeah, a
on
lot of
the ground
speed.
ball.
The last couple possessions, Harford Tech has been able to run by their first defender, but good team overall defense by North Harford. Always having a slide in place to back up if a guy gets beat.
Good speed there. So I'm going to take an opportunity here when we settle down to ask you how the players are allowed to use their feet with the ground ball. Are they allowed to kick it? Are they allowed to drag it? Does it
Very
look like
much.
they are?
Very
Yes.
much. So we got a flag down on the field.
Right.
But back to the feet, so a smart player will use that because a lot of times what you really want to do, obviously it's most easy to pick up a ground ball when you have some open space. So if you get inside of a crowd of players, you can use your foot, you can use your stick, but you'll see good players trying to push that ball into some open space and make it easier for them or a teammate to pick up the ground ball.
Well, it looked like Preston Webb on North Harford, who ended up running the ball around that defensive end there very quickly. He looked like he did, and the teammate did use their feet to drag it and tip the ball to a space where they can actually scoop it and get out of the crowd. So that's why I was asking the question. I thought that was pretty interesting. People don't realize that there's a lot of hand-eye sports where you're allowed to use your feet, and they don't realize it.
Doesn't happen often, but
No.
I've definitely have seen a ground ball in the crease before be kicked into the goal, and a lot of moms in the stands want to say no, that can't be right, but it would count as a goal if it happened.
Yeah, I saw it earlier in the game. I saw a Harford Tech defender kick a ball about 4 yards and then scoop it. So you're a man down here on Harford Tech here, Chris. So, folks, we're at the 6:45 point of the third quarter.
I saw the refs conferring after the play. It does look like they've assessed a penalty on both sides. So we're playing 5-on-5 right now. One of my favorite parts of the sport. 5-on-5 really does open it up. So we'll see if North Harford can get an open dodging lane here.
Does seem like it'll be a lot more wide open.
Yeah, and teams are used to playing a team 6-on-6 kind of defensive package. So when you get them 5-on-5.
It's kind of like the overtime rule in hockey when they go to 4v4.
Right.
It really opens up the game greatly. Here's where you want your speed athlete that has that first burst of speed. They can get a quick dodge move and get in on a goal. Let's see if it happens here. Seems like he
great hustle by the Tech keeper. They did. It was pretty close. They gave possession back to North Harford, though.
yeah, he tried. We had just a simple fall. Now we have a loose ball around the goal area. It's a little bit worrisome for Harford Tech, but they patiently scrap for the ball.
Yeah, and we don't have the exact stats, but Harford Tech has fought for the ground ball, and that's what's keeping them in this ball game, to be honest.
They're doing that, but then they're doing some, to me, careless turnovers. That ball bounced in. That was
Owen Smith that gets his first of the night.
that looked like a shot that might have found post and in the back of the goalie's leg and then still went in, but I'm not exactly sure. Let me see here, Chris. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. Nope, it just snuck inside his.
Yeah, good shot
left leg
though.
there.
You know, a hard overhand bounce shot is just so hard for the goalie to read, and he was able to get down and get a piece of it, but it
Yeah.
still got into the net. Owen's got a powerful shot.
Yeah, Rory seemed a little bit mad at himself for that because I think he thought he should have cut that near post off, but got a good experienced shooter like Owen. He was going to find whatever side you were giving up.
Another face-off win for North Harford. They've done a good job at that tonight.
Rory tried to beat him, but it was slightly out-hustled. Now, who do you designate to go stand in front of the goal and your goalie's going out there? Is it just the nearest defender or nearest player? The goalie runs all the way behind the goal to try to get the ball,
Right.
and it leaves
Right.
the goal open.
Nice save there.
Nice save, Rory.
Important, and really just for safety reasons, there is a high school rule that no other player can step inside the crease
Okay.
in an attempt to block the goal.
Right.
Goalie's equipped with a chest protector and other protective equipment that unfortunately that's a newer rule in the last several years because there were some serious injuries caused when players weren't afraid to jump in there.
So, Chris, I'm noticing that Harford Tech is having trouble clearing the ball when they even get possession, and then they're trying to do the transition game, and they're just doing some sloppy passes and drop balls, and then North Harford gets possession again, which is not helping Harford Tech's cause.
Right, and we're at that point of the game where it doesn't mean that your legs start to get tired. I mean, we're in the mid-third quarter, heading into late third quarter here. I'm sure they're at that point of the game where they are getting fatigued, and it does. The game seems to get a little sloppy when that happens.
So just like they started the half, what a great shot there. So number 13, and I think that's one of our previous goal scorers, Preston Webb, is the third goal. And first quarter, North Harford came out bang, 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 and they're doing the same thing in the third quarter.
Yeah, that was, the last couple minutes, North Harford really has kind of taken control of the game.
Yeah. So he just kind of nonchalantly said, you know what? Defense look like it's being lulled to sleep here. I'm just going to shoot a low shot. Boom. Very casual. Just kind of a roundhouse low shot there.
Yeah, I don't think the goalie expected it, but again, he used the turf to his advantage and put the ball on the ground. Very difficult to read that bounce or skip off the turf.
So we're approaching the 3:30 point of the third quarter here, and North Harford's opened up to a 6-2 lead. Great hustle by Rory.
Exciting play, hard ride by North Harford and an open goal, and Tech goalie is able to dive in
Rory
and save
Jenkins
it at the
just
last minute.
dived right across the goal.
That'll definitely be a highlight reel play for Rory.
If we could have a top 10 for high school sports, that would have definitely made it. Here we go here. Man, that was like a leg save. Dropped the stick, picked it up.
Great effort. He'll remember that one at the end of the night.
He was ready to go get it too if his teammate wasn't. So to tell the athleticism there.
Yes, we're back with North Harford on offense. North Harford's defense really starting to do a nice job. We talked in the opening how they're starting two freshmen, and it's one hand will scare you as a coach, but the other hand really gives them a lot of hope and outlook for the future.
Yeah.
Number 28, Carter Priette. Number 35, Max Deagle. They're doing a nice job tonight. To think that you got two freshmen starting on defense, and we're almost through three quarters, and the other side's got only 2 goals on the board.
There's one of those kick passes I'm talking about. He realized he was not going to pick it up, so he kicked it out to the left there. But there's some kind of a violation over there. Don't know what they called there, Chris, but I thought it was just going to be Harford Tech's possession, and they're giving it to North Harford, I think. But they're kind of arguing about it, but let's see. Got a nice shot of our managers over there. We got to always appreciate the job that they do. I'm jealous, Chris. They've got everything here at Harford Tech.
It is. This really is a wonderful facility. This facility and the Bel Air High School facility, I think, are two of the new ones in the county.
Yep.
They're just really impressive.
Yeah, whenever they're able to update the schools, they do a really classy job. 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter, folks, and it's 6-2 lead for North Harford Hawks. You know, you kind of feel, Chris, that Harford Tech's going to have to do something soon.
Right. Again, a critical 2 minutes for them. They really need to keep it to 4 goals, even though, they only have 2 on the night. In the sport of lacrosse, because it's a make-it-take-it sport. You can score, you can get the face-off back and score right again. A 2, 3, 4 goal run is not out of reach for anybody. But once you start getting outside of that, your odds are really going to decrease.
And I am not the expert that you are in lacrosse, but I think I hit the nail on the head when I said, we got a chance there. That's a nice shot and goal here. And that's Wyatt Ralph with his second goal. But, I was saying that Harford Tech in the early part of this half got 4 or 5 stops at least, but they couldn't quite get it out over midfield.
Here we go. Nice strong dodge from Wyatt from behind the cage, coming up on the left-hand side and burying the shot. He's had some nice shots this evening.
Do you consider a timeout soon if you're Harford Tech?
Yeah, they look like they're tiring, to be honest. And sometimes as a coach, you got to use those timeouts to refresh your team.
Right.
I'm hoping for our viewers they got another good run in them. But again, we're at a critical spot here. Penalties aren't going to help.
Got a penalty there also. So North Hartford's going to get. Let's see who they called this on. I thought they called it Harford Tech, but I could be wrong, folks.
Yeah, the refs are going to confer again.
Which I like.
Yeah, they're doing a nice job communicating with each other, make sure they get it right.
I mean, I'd rather see officials talk it over and get it right than to worry about their pride.
Absolutely. It almost got out of control early in the game. We had a little incident earlier in the game. I think the refs have done a nice job of keeping things under control since then. The penalty count's getting high, though, and it's
I think
definitely.
he called some kind of a slash foul.
Yeah, so it'll be a 1 minute foul. And again, don't have the numbers, but too many penalties tonight, and that's really starting to catch up with Harford Tech.
So the only other reason I thought about maybe a timeout would be the Harford Tech coach to say when we do stop them and we do get possession of the defense, let's do X, Y, and Z to get the ball out. Because not getting it back out, it's like basketball, a team getting an offensive rebound. You're like, you literally stop them, but then they get the ball again. That's a big part of this game.
Yeah, it can be frustrating, obviously, for the defense when you make a big save and are unsuccessful on the clear, and the other team turns right around and brings it back to you.
So when the players are running towards the end line, sideline on a missed shot, it's who's closest when the ball goes out of bounds.
When it crosses the line, is the important part.
Because Rory was trying to hustle there, the keeper. But
yeah, he's made a couple good runs. He's been close a couple times. That's what they need. They need to steal a possession or two here and make a run.
That was a very, he kind of did like a double spin move there or something, and then puts it low. That is the third goal for Wyatt Ralph.
All right, good to see him having a big night. Big night here in front of a big crowd. Talked about it earlier. He missed last year with a knee injury, and you can see him wearing the brace. But he's been a top performer on the field tonight.
So we're nearing the end of the third period here with North Harford going from a 3-2 lead to an 8-2 lead. It's been 5 unanswered goals. And spin and shoot low.
Oh, that's really nice. Didn't even see it on the first one. Really nice bounce shot. He bounced that out far enough that the goalie was able to go down. That ball came all the way back up over the goalie's head. That also will be a highlight reel goal for Wyatt. That's a really nice looking play.
So that was the best transition I've seen them getting the ball from defense to offense in a while. And that's what they need. Now they need to settle down here, Chris. They've got 10 seconds left, so I think somebody needs to tell them go to goal or pass. The man was right up front. Just missed him. Did you see the wide open play up front? Just went by him.
Right, and again, North Harford doing a real nice job on defense. With 2 freshman starters, they've got some young kids out there playing. That will be a huge benefit to them in the future. You only get 4 years in high school, and a lot of players only get a year or two to start. But when you can get a couple kids that can come in and play early, those extra years of experience are going to be really valuable down the line.
So at the end of 3 quarters here, folks, we have an 8-2 lead from North Harford. As I said, they scored 5 unanswered goals that quarter, leading the way for North Harford. Preston Webb and Wyatt Ralph have 3 goals each, and we have single goals by Owen Smith and Caleb Kerr. But Owen's been very involved, even though he only has 1 goal.
Yeah, and you can tell that Harford Tech clearly is, their plan is to stay very close to Owen. I mean, again, he's been around for a long time, and it's no secret, he's going to get his shots when
we see our policemen here, Chris. We appreciate them coming to the games and being of service. Tough job being a policeman and then dealing with teenagers at the same time, right?
Very much, but again, they also look like they're just enjoying the night. We've got a beautiful night here for.
Well, I've been in a lot of these games, and every once in a while, the police officers need to basically tell the boys, usually in a rivalry, get away from each other. No need to talk smack or.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've seen it happen as well.
But here we are. Maybe another face-off win by North Harford. It looked like maybe there's a violation there. What would you call that? Moving too soon in the
yeah, I didn't see the actual call, but interesting. So North Harford's second face-off guy, number 5, Nathan Shutt, another freshman, getting on the field for North Harford tonight. Coach Rich raved about his athleticism in the pregame.
That goal, that was so quick that we could hardly keep up with it.
And just what Tech needed.
Yes. So here's the replay. Looks like that is number 2, number 2 for Harford Tech. So I have that as Drew Wozar's second goal.
There's 2 face-off wins in a row for Tech. Unfortunately, threw that one away.
Yes.
Back to North Harford.
Suffice to say, I would think that we need Harford Tech to gain a lot of the face-offs the remainder of this game. But they got a turnover back here. So now it's important for.
There's another. North Harford really is just a relentless effort on the ride tonight. Many times Harford Tech has made the stop and just hasn't been able to get it out of their zone due to the effort from the North Harford.
Another good save by Rory Jenkins.
And outlet. We got an opportunity for him.
See, I would have thought that maybe he could have slid that ball over to number 23 there on the right.
Yeah, I'm sure he's regretting not doing that. He had a wide open player.
And if he would have hit him, they could have had their 3rd transition goal, which they've been good at tonight, going from one end to the other. One thing I notice here is limping off the field. I think he got kicked in the leg there. Chris, I mean, I'll use your expertise. Sometimes I see the defensive players coming out with the ball, but they're getting stick checked from behind or the side losing the ball. But if their teammates aren't showing them an open pass, what are they supposed to do?
Right, and it's very hard. And that's why, again, lacrosse is a team sport. So if you don't have the ball in your stick, you should be making yourself as an outlet in those situations.
Good shot of the coaches talking and pointing. Lots of you do this, you do that, you run around here. Well, that's exactly when I played lacrosse briefly, and before I got an injury. And in soccer, if I'm dribbling the ball downfield, somebody's supposed to show me an open pass. And you don't want to see people running away from you with your back to you. And I would think it's the same thing for lacrosse, especially if the defensive players don't have quite the same stick skills as a midfielder.
And they have a longer stick, so it's much harder to protect.
Yes.
So it's available. And, again, the North Harford attack doing a great job pressuring them when they do have the ball. And that's led to several turnovers and goals.
Nice shot at the scoreboard here, showing 10:40 to go with an 8-3 lead. It seems like we're going to need a quick turnaround here for Harford Tech. People have never played lacrosse. They see these drops and they think, why didn't they catch that? It is not the easiest thing to do to catch and throw if you've never picked up a lacrosse stick. But sometimes the player just takes their eye off the ball because they're already thinking, where am I going to go after I catch this? Am I going to take a quick run? or am I going to pass it to somebody that's wide open?
Right, it does. It takes a high level of skill to be able to catch and throw consistently under pressure. A lot of the turnovers happen, as much as a result of the pressure as than the lack of skill in catching the ball.
Long shot there on the left, but
so close. Harford Tech's been close. I mean, they're going for it. Big outlet pass by the goalie.
There's a good chance right here.
One more.
He made it that time. So that was number 2 again, and that is Owen Rosar with his 3rd goal. So he now has the hat trick. And just like that, we're back to 8-4, folks. So
still enough time in the game for Harford Tech to make this run. And again, part of the beauty of lacrosse is we call it a make-it-take-it sport. So you don't automatically get the ball, but you've got the opportunity to win a face-off and get the ball right back now.
Then it winds up, takes a high, hard shot to the goalie's left shoulder, Chris.
Yeah, it's a nice shot, placed perfectly.
Now, 3 of the 4 goals for Harford Tech have been scored on quick transition. They kind of feel like, we got the legs and the speed to get downfield, 1 quick 2 passes, a quick runner, and they're getting shots off. That ball was a little high and left there. So North Harford gets to maintain possession here. Now, Chris, I've asked you about this before, and I asked my girls lacrosse game commentator the same thing last game. You got an 8-4 lead here with 9:20 to go. That answered my question somewhat. As long as you have backup, I think it's okay to fire shots off.
Yeah, which they didn't have backup there, so that's a tough turnover. You don't want to give Harford Tech extra opportunities here. You have a semi-comfortable lead, and you really just need to execute a little bit down the stretch here to take home a nice win.
So that I was going to ask, do you somewhat kill clock there as a coach? Do you say we don't shoot unless we have a good shot?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's that's what Coach wanted there.
Right.
It wasn't a bad shot, but to not have a backup is really the backbreaker there.
So Harford Tech's got a chance here to get within 3 goals if they can get something good going here. Looks like a one-on-one move lost, but he regained it. Good job. Another lost. Harford Tech seeming to want to wind up for this shot right now, Chris. They might need to make one more pass to get an open player. So what's the call here?
So that's going to be an over and back, just like in basketball.
Right.
They were pressured out towards the midfield line, and then ball went back over the midfield line.
Okay.
So automatic turnover.
That was a little bit of a shame there. What a shot. I mean,
Owen with his 2nd goal of the night. Again, good job by North Harford, making 2 quick passes and getting the ball to an open player.
So there are goal scorers and basket makers in sport. You were a goal scorer in lacrosse. Here we come here again. That was a quick pass, and he just liked his angle there, and he said, I got to take this.
Yeah, and a great look by, again, number 25. He was close enough where he probably hadn't thought in his mind, do I shoot it? But he made the smart play, moved it to the more open person, and that, still 8 minutes left, but North Harford is a goal or 2 away of really having this one in hand.
And this is a tough situation here. They need to win this loose ball. So as I was starting to say, I'm sure you've had times where your coach was like, hold up, don't shoot, but you thought, Coach, I've got this one. I've got this one. I've had it in soccer. I've coached a bazillion basketball players. I'm like, I was really hoping to hold up there for a little bit. He goes, Coach, I had it. I knew I was going to make that shot.
Yeah, and again, with we're at 9-4, so I don't think Coach would be too upset with any of that. But especially in a close game, it's important to make sure you're taking a high percentage shot on every possession.
So basically, to sum that up, Chris, even though you're a confident goal scorer or basket maker, if you make it, Coach is okay with it. If you don't, and the other team goes down and score, you're getting a little talking to.
Very much.
Nice effort there. He just didn't quite have the angle there. Basically, that shot went right across the face of the goal. But Harford Tech had the backup. And I would imagine both of these coaches have played. And they know He got stick checked on that shot or lost the ball in mid-shot. Nice catch. Lost it. Check there. Flag. Harford Tech's going to have a penalty if they can keep this on this side of the half.
That's another flag.
That should be another flag, right?
Yeah, so interesting situation.
Could be up 2 men.
Well, you will be. The second play is not normally a penalty. It's just a loose ball push. But because there was already a flag down, when the second infraction occurs, it's an automatic flag down.
Interesting. So let me ask you a question here. If they are 2 men up for a minute, if they score, only one comes back on, and then they're still up 1 man?
Yes, as long as they're not full serve. I believe it was on 2 separate players.
Right.
So that is the way that it should unfold now.
So this is a huge opportunity for North Harford to get 2 goals.
I see 5 defenders on the field for North Harford. So it may be 2 fouls on 1 player.
So when they then say he has
They
two
would be
2 1-minute
consecutive,
penalties? Okay, fans, we are getting a good education here by Chris Dale. And I'm modest enough to, instead of trying to fake my knowledge here, I'd rather ask the expert. So that's interesting. So possibly 2 consecutive 1-minute penalties. So if
this is the opportunity Tech needs. They really need to take advantage of this.
if they score within the first minute, then that minute would expire, but then the other full minute penalty would still ensue.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And they
Yes.
get good shot. They got a good shot on the first one, but turned it over.
Yeah, this is not what
Did
they
not have
wanted
the
to do.
backup.
Yeah, you wanted to be able to maintain possession until you scored at least 1 goal. Could have been an opportunity to get back within a 3-goal game here. So now with 6:16 to go in the game, folks, we have a 9-4 lead. North Harford has possession, but they're 2 player down. So it'd be interesting to see the guy here, number 21. Looks like he's got some wheels on him. So that's he held on to it for a while until he lost it.
Yeah, it's Kian Puker.
Yeah.
He's captain of the team. Those man-down clears are hard. You really need to leg them out.
Well, before I got hurt, my coach told me that's one of the jobs I would do, is man down, get the ball, you run until the
Flags down on the field again.
So, tough call here. Like, if you keep the possession and then you use up the penalties you already have,
Right, yeah.
you'll get another one after that. But if you would turn over possession here, you'd go up 2 men temporarily.
And they need to work quick. We're getting down to the last 5 minutes of the game. With a 5-goal deficit, they don't have much time to.
It looks like they're almost being a little bit too patient here. North Harford does not mind at all. The clock is their friend.
All right, so the first penalties have expired.
Right.
So we'll temporarily be back to 6-on-6. Ah,
Just
good
sailed a
shot.
little high.
Yep.
Looked like the riser. Pitcher's throwing a riser pitch. That ball went from low to high. Just went over. So they have time to get another goal back here. Good man-down defense for North Harford, Chris. I mean,
Yeah, we've having a lot of man up and man down tonight. It has been a penalty-filled game.
yes. You think it's a little bit more than normal for lacrosse game, or
Yeah,
just, okay.
yeah, we're definitely a lot of flags on the field tonight.
A lot of them on ground balls. You know, people going to get the ground ball and getting fouled.
And mostly effort plays. I mean, I
Yeah.
haven't seen, other than we had a little scuffle in the first quarter. It's been cleanly played tonight, but just too many penalties. Definitely for Harford Tech. I'm sure they'll look at the film afterwards and realize that they both had opportunities to score extra man and gave North Harford too much possession through penalties.
Nearing the 4-minute mark. 5-goal deficit. It's like a turnover there. Let's see who picks it up on the other side of midfield.
All right, so we're over and back again. North Harford's got an opportunity to pick it up and get a quick whistle.
Now, every time I say one thing prediction-wise, Chris, they surprise me. But I would think that they would be going for some time clock killing here.
And then normal strategies to get that ball behind the goal,
Right.
spread it out, but they are going right to the cage, and They're successful.
So that looked like the pass came from
Owen Smith behind the cage.
Behind the cage for a beautiful assist. And then I think that was 25, Wyatt Ralph.
Yeah, Wyatt Ralph again on the goal.
Fourth goal of the game. So we talked about this before. Yes, you want to kill clock. Here we go with the replay, folks. Nice job, patience, right down the middle.
Yeah, and great goal by Wyatt, but it just a great lacrosse play by Owen. He beat his man. He waited for the inside guy to come to him, and as soon as he came, he found Wyatt open on the backside. I mean, that's good lacrosse.
So you like killing time, but if the other team's going to give you a good play, you take it.
Absolutely.
So another win on another draw by North Harford. I would go on record as saying it's probably been like 75-25.
Yeah, and even again, we're back to their second face-off man, Nathan Shutt, winning the face-off for North Harford, a freshman. Again, impressed with the number of freshmen North Harford's been able to put on the field tonight. They've all done a nice job. Bodes really well for the North Harford Hawks over the next couple of years.
Well, and I was talking to a couple of coaches recently, and North Harford isn't as small as some of the other schools, but they're also not as big as the biggest schools in the county.
Right.
So you see more freshmen and sophomore needed on schools that are mid-range size. And, you played as a 4-year starter. I was a 3-year starter in soccer, but I was invited to the varsity as a freshman. When you're a freshman, you're not as big and strong and fast as some of the other people are. You might be the fast, and you might have the skill, but you got to kind of learn to play with your brain and your skill a lot.
Right, and that experience of playing, again, those extra years of playing are just invaluable.
I mean, I'm not afraid to say that I was never afraid of physical contact, but I didn't mind passing the ball more when I was a freshman.
Very much.
And
I believe I played my freshman year at about 115 pounds. It was a little scared some nights.
Yeah, nice shot at the fans. Here we go. Nice, good group of fans here today.
Yeah, again, on a beautiful night in this facility.
Yeah, these are the best games of call. Don, I miss having you here with us, but this is perfect weather for calling a game. We don't have the rain. We don't have the cold.
Good job by Harford Tech. So they had to press out. I mean, obviously they're at a point in the game where they've got to turn the ball over pretty quickly. They did it successfully. Now let's see if they can get it cleared. They've had success turning the ball over tonight. It's been the clear sometimes that they haven't been able to pull off, and another tough one.
So I'm going to say two things about Roy Jenkins in the goal. 3. He's made a lot of really good saves. This game could be more than a 6-goal difference, and he's had an outstanding goalie job. But his stick work with his passing, I've been impressed with.
Yeah, and he's not afraid to throw the outlet. He's done a nice job with it tonight. Hasn't always been successful.
There we go with a quick goal by number 10 for Harford Tech. That's Xavier Garcia with a goal there. I think it's his first.
And it also looks like the first action for a new goalie for North Harford, senior Andrew Moore.
Okay. So we're down to 2:56 to go in the game. Replay here. Let's see where he comes out of nowhere. Makes quick move.
Yep.
Nice job.
Strong one-on-one move. Might be a little too late, but it's never out in the sport of lacrosse.
So picked back up after a while there by, is that Owen again? Oh, he just lost that. He looked like he wanted to crank up and take a left-handed shot. Somebody just got a little bit of a stick on that, Chris. Now, I don't know if these teams I don't think they'll meet again this year because they're different classifications. But these are still two quality programs. I was looking at their non-league and their league results, and they beat a lot of non-league people. So I think Harford County boys and girls lacrosse ranks very well.
Yeah, we've had, Harford County's had success at the state playoff year level year after year. North Harford again, lost to the eventual state champion Kent Island last year, and they probably have a date looming with either Kent Island or Seamount Wright's also in the 2A class, so that could be a good inter-county state playoff matchup, coming up in the next couple of weeks.
I was walking in with 4 North Hartford young men, and they were nice enough to talk to me and help me with the names and numbers and stuff a little bit. There we go. Can we wrap this around and get a shot? And I asked them if there was any state championships in their history. There you go. Number 10 again, coming alive here with another goal. And they said he said my dad was on the state championship team in like 95.
Okay.
So I think North Hartford does have at least one state championship in their background. Nice shot here. This young man's coming on at the end of the game.
Yep. Again, Harford Tech playing hard, not giving up. You got to play the final whistle.
Yeah.
And we're going to close the gap to 10-6.
Yeah.
With a chance to get possession right back. So we're back to a big face-off match.
I've seen as many as 3 goals in 1 minute before in lacrosse. And I'm sure you've had a lot of experience with seeing some crazy things, Chris.
Oh, very much. And we have a game this year. Earlier in the year, Falston had a 2-goal lead at John Carroll with about 50 seconds to go and didn't win the game. So,
right.
Again, that's the beauty of the sport. You really can have an exciting finish.
So right now, you've got a pressure defense here if you're Harford Tech, which puts North Hartford in a position to get a shot off, which he did, but good stop by our goalie again.
Yeah, it looks like North Hartford feels confident in the fact they can close out the game, so they weren't just going to run it out. Looks like they're taking the opportunity to get some players on the field that maybe haven't been on as much tonight, showing some confidence in the entire team.
So under the minute point here at Harford Tech. North Hartford player goes down, landed on the ball there. That doesn't look like that would feel good. Right in the middle of the chest. But let's see if our goal scorer here can get all the way around the goal. Got hit. Another shot. Nice save.
And a backup by our new goalie.
Yeah.
Good job.
So with 38 seconds to go here, it looks like North Hartford just needs to get a good clear and kill the clock here. I would imagine you'll see sportsmanship in that. Coach will probably tell him not to take a shot. And that's what most of us do in that situation. It's only a 4-goal game here, Chris. I think Harford Tech gave North Hartford a good challenge tonight.
They did. I thought they fought hard tonight. Maybe a little bit too many penalties. Another turnover. And obviously we're down to the last couple seconds.
Yeah, they called him out of bounds there, I think. And it's a good job by the Harford Tech defenders. Oh, just missed.
And again, good backup by the North Hartford keeper and defense. So they'll take possession and finish this game out.
Yeah, I think our player was a little frustrated there. He was like, oh, I had a good chance there and just missed. But it's not a gimme here, guys. Good goalies in there and not much angles. So counting down here.
North Hartford will throw it the length of the field. We still have 10 seconds on the clock.
Mm-hmm. I don't know that they'll be able to get another shot off. I think Rory wants to go down and score himself. He gets past one more person. He was going to get that shot off there, Chris.
Good effort. He was definitely giving it a shot. But a good win for the Hawks tonight.
Yeah.
They've lost a couple games in the league, so good to see them get back on the winning side. And they've got some big contests coming up, and need to get themselves ready for the state playoffs.
So I'll do a recap of the score here, and you can give me your final thoughts before we wrap up the game. So for Harford Tech, Xavier Gastia came in and got 2 late goals there, and the hat trick for them was Drew Wozar. Tyler Batko got a goal also for their 6 goals. I thought Rory Jenkins was very impressive in the goal, and took a lot of wide open shots at him, especially in the beginning of the game, the first 3 goals. But the defense settled down there. For North Hartford, Preston Webb had 3 goals. Caleb Kerr had 1. Owen Smith came on with 2 goals and a beautiful assist. And I think he had more than 1 assist for sure. And then their leading scorer was Wyatt Ralph. Our team records, let me have that here. Let's see what we go to. I think we moved to, if I'm not mistaken, 6-4.
Yeah, North Hartford will move to 6-4 on the season.
And then Harford Tech drops to 3-5. think two good teams here. So what are your final thoughts, Chris?
Yeah, good effort by North Harford, and then they needed that. Like we talked to Coach before the game, they're playing a lot of young kids, and so they not necessarily going to be the same team at the end of the season that they were at the beginning of the season.
Right.
So I saw great effort from them tonight. Dominance at the face-off X. Cruz Cespedes started out, in the first quarter. It felt like North Harford had the ball the entire quarter, and they just, were winning face-off after face-off. Again, impressed with the young defense to be able to play a varsity game in Harford County with two freshman starters. Really good stuff for North Harford. They played some athletes and some young kids all over the field. And then just really good production from number 25, Wyatt Ralph, and a solid game from Owen Smith. Owen has been a dominant player in Harford County and, continues to be. So North Harford will be a team to be reckoned with, come the playoffs. They still have that mix of they can win face-offs and they have some players that can score goals. So you can see, I'm sure Coach is happy with the improvement over the last couple games, and they've still got some big county contests to come,
Right.
Including a game with C. Milton Wright next week, and then on to the state playoffs. So the beauty of high school sports in Maryland is that everybody's eligible for the state playoffs. So regardless of the outcome tonight or in any game, you're going to get a chance to step in and compete for a state championship in a couple weeks.
Definitely. Well, Chris, thank you for doing these two boys lacrosse games with me. It was a pleasure. And folks, this is our last boys lacrosse game of the year, and it was a good one. So we hope you have enjoyed this sports showcase event on Harford TV. Once again, our final score was North Harford, I think it was 10, and Harford Tech 6. They took the scoreboard off.
They did turn the scoreboard off.
That's what I have. For my partner, Chris Dale, I am Ray Ruse. See you soon for another sports showcase event on Harford TV.